Hello there. Uh, this is Cookies, and today I wanted to just go over a really quick expansion test with Naggarond. This is using Sombre's Warhammer mod, and they represent the Dark Elves. So, you have a bunch of different pretender options. If I hit tab here, I can see all the different magic paths and scaling options. For today, um, I think we're gonna try and awake. And maybe I can get some scales on it. We'll see. All right, so, oh, that's tough because you do want a lot of Dominion. We'll do 6. See if we can get away with it. And then I think we're gonna just take Misfortune 1 and we'll take a point in order. All right, and then would like Stygian Flesh. I think it's fairly easy to expand with that. And then it looks like we get one more scale. So for this one, I'm going to take magic. All right, so this isn't the worst income in the world. We do get a few more bless points. So maybe what we can do here is, I think Righteous Wrath would be really good, but I need one more point. All right, so maybe I take away scale here. Um, Maybe I'll put 1 point into heat. All right, so this is a sample build you could do. All right, we'll call this just Awake Aussie. All right, and I will meet you back up in the game settings screen. Okay, so over here in the game settings screen, let's see, let's go ahead and set something up. I'm going to use the current map nuke map that we've got for a Warhammer game that's going right now. Okay, test. Naggarond Expo with the Pretender. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. We'll fill this in with our guy. And really quick, we'll change these over to Mighty, just so the AI competes in expansion a little bit more. And I just want to pick the same factions that are going to be in this upcoming game. So just give me a quick second. And this is mostly to just give myself some more, just kind of like practical knowledge if I end up bumping with some of these factions. I just get a little bit more experience with the mod and how the units interact and get a better feel for things. So, should be able to set this up pretty quickly. Let's see. I think I did Zinch already. Got Bretonia in there. Yeah. Who am I missing? Nahakara. And is it Itza? Is that the one? Nope, I got Itza. Oh, Karazakarak, the dwarves. There we go. So I think that works. All right. So we've got the dark elves here. Now, when you're expanding with the dark elves, you have a few different options. my personal favorite is just, I don't know what I'm used to, I guess, is I like using Corsairs. But you can also take a bless on executioners and expand that way, which is part of what I'm going to try out here. And you can also do a cavalry expansion with these guys. They're sufficiently heavily armored enough that they can actually expand okay. Is there another sort of expansion? I don't really think so. And I don't think they have strong candidates for, because you don't have really any sacreds. So, like if this guy were sacred, you could put a bless on him and maybe he could expand, but you don't really get that option here. So, and the reason Corsair expansion works is they're very high defense values. So they take surprisingly little attrition during expansion. And you can foreign recruit them pretty easily, especially with a coastal start. So, but anyways, today we're gonna try executioners and cold ones. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into it. Oh, that's like the weirdest graphical bug. I'm just gonna make sure you select it again. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and dive into it. Do 12 level 2s. Number of points doesn't really matter. Renaming can be allowed just in case we want to. Cool. All right. So this particular game will be with Trusty Research. And I like, you have a lot of Astral Death cross pass on your main national mages. So I think a rundown enchantment is pretty okay. Okay. Oh, okay, so he's a shape changer. That's why he was doing that. Okay. Now, you do have to be careful with this guy. Oh, it's all natural protection. All right, so he doesn't really benefit from the invulnerability, but the sacreds will. So let's go ahead and get some. We'll get a mage. We'll get a handful of sacreds. And we were going to try this sort of expansion with the knights. We could also try to do some harpies. That's been recommended before to me. So we'll go ahead and do some of that. And we'll go ahead and send out a scout. And let's see what you do have to be careful with the Izzy. He can die or retreat on blind expands. So let's go ahead and see what's around us. Heavy infantry, heavy cavalry. This is good. So we'll send him here. I don't know. You can just do that, I guess. All right. With this lady, we're gonna blood sack. So this is for a leadership snipe. All right. Do Divine Blessing, Holy Avenger, advance and cast. All right. And we will send these guys at the deer tribe. We'll see how that works. We'll do fire archers. Now for the next party, I think what we want to do is we have a lot of sailing. So let's go ahead and get our Corsairs in. Or we can try to start building our first night party. But you can see it's kind of hard to start recruiting that this early. You can get 2 of the big guys. But you could probably get a whole party of, especially over 2 turns of recruitment, of these Corsairs. Again, we're not doing Corsairs, so let's go ahead and pick up some Sacreds. And let's pick up someone to bless them. All right. And then maybe we'll... Oh, I think I might have accidentally canceled one. But, all right, let's go ahead and see how we do. Shade. Oh, good scout somewhere else. All right. Let's see how we do. So just to kind of show off the bless on these guys, they've got Righteous Wrath. Righteous Wrath is more for the Witch Elves, so I think it's gooder going later in the game, but it's also good on these guys. And then Invulnerability 10. So that boosts their protection up to around 22 versus Mundane, which is right in the same realm as the protection versus Mundane that you would get with Lion Warriors. So Lion Warriors are killier, but it's a similar sort of defensive bless. So, all right. But as you can see, we still lose 3, potentially from Dark Shards. Although they killed 8, and we lost 8. Okay, so they actually killed these. So you can see Dark Elf Sacreds aren't always that great. Or Deer Tribe are just that killy. Okay. Let's go ahead and check out the next province. Let's go ahead and send them here. This crew, where do we send you? Elephants. That's tough. All right, we'll try here. We'll do hold and fire archers. Then hold and attack closest, and we're going to shift everything back, trying to spread them out more. Get their archers firing at max range. Now we're doing a lot better in resources now. So I think what I'll do for... I think we want to finish this next group of executioners. And maybe we can use it to reinforce the other group. But we do want to start getting out our knights. And I think I'm going to lead them with one of these guys because he just costs a lot less resources, but still has pretty high map move. Okay. And, oh, I think we forgot to look at the harpies. I was curious how they did. They landed on the archers, so they all died. Looks like they might have helped rout the archers, though. It's handy. Alright. Let's go ahead and see the next turn. Oh, I keep forgetting about this guy. 100. Okay. A lot of independence. Okay, he didn't breathe any fire for whatever reason. You can see he takes a fair amount of damage. I don't know how you miss with a fire breath attack. Anyways, alright. And so, back to playing here, these guys have 12 combat speed, so we'll end up routing them before we fight the light infantry. And then we fight the light infantry slightly before the heavy infantry. And that might help HP route the army. I think we're getting some friendly fire here. Okay. So this expansion party is kind of exhausted itself, so it's going to head home. I don't know if I'm going to take the time to rescue that. I might send this guy back to pick them up. We have C60 here. I think we can go here. Ooh, this one's also pretty good though. Let's go ahead and do that. We might need a little bit more. That's a lot of enemies. Alright. Something you can also do on Naggarond is potentially do assassin expansion with maybe like a quickness plus. That was suggested to me on Lucid's Discord, and I should probably do an expansion test with that just to kind of show that one off. I think it would be pretty cool. It's not what I ended up ultimately choosing, but I do think it's pretty cool. Alright. And, oh, I forgot this guy I wasted a commander point. Maybe this time I do get an assassin. Well, let's get some research going. We'll get another sacred. Alright, get some more cav. And then we should be able to double expand next turn. Along with the Aziz, so it'd be a triple expand. So this turn's going to be consolidating a bit, and then I'm forgetting to put PD. But that's interesting. It's not using the fire breath. Alright. Maybe I can forward deploy him more. Do you have a spell at all? Ooh, doing something like the death pierce resistance would have been a good research target. Okay, but it's fine to just do a hold and fire. And I think we'll leave that last command off. See how that goes. Alright. And let's put some PD. Alright, and let's see how expansion goes. Did pick up a couple of harpies. So we'll see how this party does. I think it still might lose, honestly. And then we've got heavy cavalry. Ooh, do I want to send just 5 into it? Maybe not. Yeah, we'll send it out next turn. And then for now, we've got a fair amount of gold, but we're saving up for a fort. Do we have any good provinces yet? We do Dragon Ridge. Okay. So we'll send this guy to Dragon Ridge, and maybe he can start a new fort there. Yeah, I'm just not sure if we have enough knights to make that its own expansion party. Could maybe do an attack rear. That could be good. So instead of... No, I wanted you in that squad. Alright. We'll try that. And then this guy will get his own squad. Now, out here, you can definitely hire some Corsairs and other stuff to eventually build new expansion parties. But I'm not doing a Corsair expansion this turn, so, or this playthrough, so it might be hard to mass them properly in time for the end of expansion. Let's see it. Spires of Ascension. Ooh, found, this is going to be trouble. I think we're going to lose this. They've got undead here, too. Our flanking operation got bogged down in imps. Now it's routing, which is a lot of the HP. Crossbows are routing. I guess with night expansion, we could also try more production. But there's a reason I didn't go for more production, and that's it feels really bad to take production on Naggarond. Because every time you take a province, it sends resources back to a fort. So if you take production, it's very quickly going to be kind of wasted because you got a bunch of free resources. So... And you can kind of see those events here. So you see all these resources that get sent home. All right. Bruh, you're in my cap circle. So what were you doing? That's a lot of heavy cav. Those are mercs, and I don't see them anymore. Okay. Well, if you're going to go into my territory, I do think you have to be careful with barbs on this pretender, if I remember right. I'm going to take them up here. Should probably still be able to beat this with the sacreds. All right, you can see we're up to 284. All right, so we're going to keep pumping out these knights now. Apparently we attacked Athelloren. Oh my goodness. What is this nonsense? Morale +1. Well, we're doomed. Yeah, they've got magic attacks. Oh, that's not good. Alright. Okay. Looks like we did reasonably well there. 30 now? Alright, we're gonna try this. We're gonna start a fort here. Or maybe we've got enough resources to start doing Dread Knights. Alright, so we'll do that. Alright, let me add that to a controller group. Can we reach? We can. Alright, so I think we will. Alright, we're going to try out the barbs. It could be a lot of barbs. I think we're going to go back to something like this. See if we can burn them all. He might die with our bless, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so barbs are bad. Did remember that, right? That's fine though. I don't think we really need them right now. And it kind of shows you what you should be afraid of. Alright. So we'll do this guy into the barbs. Send this guy back. Okay. Now, for some reason, this guy's 14 and these guys are 20, which is kind of annoying. So the next party might actually be able to catch up. We got Hellebron, who's got a bunch of witch elves, and she's Holy 3, which is handy because our prophet's dead. Still not quite there yet. few more witch elves. All right. And where would we send her? Maybe down here? We could probably do that. Let's see. You can do something like pick the higher morale ones from the free spawn and use them. So you can see like the little goblins have less morale. So you can kind of build a little bit more elite group. Let's go ahead and kick off the next turn. I think we did pretty well there. All right. Ooh, winter time. That's gonna muck up my plans. Can you make it? Okay. I think we can go down here. We'll try this group into that. We're starting to get the heavier variants. Okay, we can probably go back to mage recruitment. This guy is starting to get close to done, so we can send that lady over, build a temple and lab. And then it might be worth getting a couple of Corsair captains. That probably would have been good during that turn where we got just one commander point. And we could have started trying to spread some. Could have tried to get a Corsair Cove here for extra gold. Let's see how I do here. Curious how many of them die. There goes one. So with their stats, they're up to 20 damage on, and then which should punch through, and then they can apply their poisons. Alright, we can speed it up a bit. Cool. And they're berserkers, so they won't rout, which is also nice. That is a lot of elephants. Okay, we're totally losing this. Or they'll rout. Now it's a lot of HP routing. Wow, we got lucky there. Okay. We can send this guy home. You already got a fort there? That is so irritating. um, Unfrozen's? Okay, I guess we're not going down there. We can probably site search, I guess. Oh, you know what we could do? We could start calling God. Trying to get our dragon back so we can siege down this fort. Probably time to get these ladies again. Alright. We do have a fair amount of money. You can see the shipwreckers got bid. Skull smashers would be good though. Maybe we can use them to take these guys. And we got more elephants over here too. So I think what we'll do, 400. Maybe that can outbid the AI. Probably not though. Get this lady out site searching. Got one more party and we'll head out. Just in case we bump. And then I'll have to see what turn it is. Oh, we've been attacked. Okay. That's fair. What all was it? 60 units? Mostly trying to get these guys out of the queue. And then I think we'll PD dump here. And then what I wanted to do was send this guy back and we'll try to take the throne because it's turn 11. And we'll see how we do. All right. And then I think what we'll do is we'll cap off recruitment here. And we'll see how we do on the throne. Maybe a turn 12 throne take. Gosh, these guys are tough. Goodness. And they hit hard. Ooh, might get an elector count. No, he fled. Lost 2 knights, that's unfortunate. Killed a fair amount of stuff, though. And then on the throne... Ooh, imps again. Okay. Witch elves are filling, which is nice. Oh, they used it for skelly spam, not imps. Oh my goodness. Alright. Cool. We cleared a throne. What do we get? Sounds like the Dark Elves. Throne of Misfortune. Alright. And then I suppose we could start a new fort here. And maybe do some more Call God. I like the idea of one of these guys being a prophet because they are stealthy with high map move. Let's see. Ooh. Alright, we spent all our gold on the PD dump. But fortunately, that PD dump might protect us a bit. Alright. But let's see how we did overall. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Not great. But considering we started a war with Middenheim, we lost our Awake Expander to Barbs. And we had a nasty bump with the Wood Elves that we lost. I think we did alright. Cool. Now, some things you could do, if you want more knights out sooner, you very well could go production 2. And that would help get the knight, like, help you transition to knights sooner, or maybe start with them. The downside of doing that is, again, production is a scale that you very rapidly can build out of. So these guys are about even on resources and recruitment points. And these guys use fewer resources than recruitment points. And assuming you keep taking provinces, or even if you have a raiding game and you keep sending stuff home, you're going to very rapidly have way more resources than recruitment points. And you're never going to be able to really spend these recruitment points on knights. So you want to be careful taking too much production on Dark Elves. I'm not sure if any unit really needs a ton of resources. At best, things are even or want recruitment points. And generally, they're even. Witch Elves are a little lopsided, but they don't take much of either. I think swordsmen are your like bleak swords are your best like 2-to-1 almost ratio of resources to recruitment points, but they're also a recruit everywhere unit. Or no, they aren't. The Dread Spears are. But I don't know if you're going to want to fill your armies with these guys. They are okay. They have a shield, they have a hat, they have 15 defense, and they have an 18 damage falchion. They're not like a bad troop. They're actually pretty decent. But you've also got some pretty good troops. Like these guys are very killy. I really like them. These guys are also pretty good with the repeater handbows. The knights are pretty good. Although they can struggle sometimes. And they're also very expensive. So like the upkeep is 28 plus 32, so 60 gold a year. So I think that works out to 5 gold a month just for a knight. And when your mages aren't sacred and they cost you 288 gold per year, where this one is 432 gold a year, it can be really hard to afford a mage core and these knights on the same nation unless you go full scales and just try to get as much income as possible. And that can depend on the game settings. It's probably fine in single player, but you might want to be careful in multiplayer because there's a fair number of nations that can make themselves immune to 10 armor piercing damage crossbows, and then they just walk all over you because you have no answers. So you do want to be somewhat careful, because if they can ignore 10 AP damage, they can also ignore 19 damage dread sword, and they can also ignore well, this one hits a little bit harder, so this one would be harder to ignore. But these guys in return can be vulnerable to their own AP missile damage. But yeah, like if you don't take some sort of blast, you're topping out at like 23 damage. And it's on these Blackguard who are cap only, or these executioners who are every fort sacreds, but they have significantly less protection at 16, and they don't have very good defense skill, so they do die a lot, as we saw in this expansion. So yeah, you've got options, but just kind of keep in mind kind of like what you're trading potentially other scales for to get that production. If you try to want to get more knights out sooner, you might be really only benefiting from those production scales for the first, I don't know, 5 to 8 turns. And then you're not really going to need them overly much for potentially the rest of the game versus what you might have had just already. Because all of these provinces that you take are going to send 5 to 10 back during expansion back to your capital, or 5 to 15. And that can be a couple hundred resources just back to your capital, depending on how good your expansion is. So just something to keep in mind. Again, more knights could be good knights, but you're also filling up your payroll with these guys. So you can see here, this is 100 upkeep for just 27 Cold One Knights. And then 17 Cold One Dread Knights is, I think, right around another, is that 70, 85 upkeep. So just for the current knights on the roster, we're near 200 upkeep out of only 1,700 income. And that's all upkeep that can't go towards mages. So, all right. Anyways, I think that's it for this one, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.